You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Governor Tom Wolf's pushing Pennsylvania to stay the course and follow the law. WYLN's Phil Kaufman has more from this morning's press conference.
Governor Tom Wolf addressed Pennsylvanians today, reminding them that the state's actions are working and that we must stay the course to combat COVID-19 and follow the law.
We Pennsylvanians are in a fight for our lives. The enemy is a deadly virus set on destroying us. Over the past 2 months, this enemy has infected almost 60,000 of our fellow citizens. It has killed almost 4,000 of us. These are our loved ones, our friends, our neighbors. It has threatened to overwhelm our healthcare system, and it hasn't finished with us yet. And this is not the time to give up. We have fought this deadly enemy in the best way we can. This war has called on every single Pennsylvanian to fight, and we have, heroically. It has been a new kind of heroism, in many ways a quiet heroism, but a heroism nonetheless.
The governor reiterated that reopening too soon can cause more spread and cases and deaths to spike again, which will lead to further closures that could last even longer, calling the act of going against the state's orders cowardly and comparing it to being a deserter in war.
Still, over this past weekend, some have decided to surrender to this enemy. These are politicians who were elected to serve their fellow citizens. Others are business owners who have chosen to serve their customers by putting them in harm's way. These folks are choosing to desert in the face of the enemy, in the middle of a war that we Pennsylvanians are winning and that we must win.
If a county does not abide by the law to remain closed, consequences will be carried out, including the county losing eligibility for federal stimulus discretionary funds. Businesses that do not follow the law will lose their liability insurance, and restaurants will risk losing their liquor license.
We are indeed showing signs of success in this fight. We have begun to flatten the curve of infection at many parts of the Commonwealth, which is why 24 counties have already moved into the yellow zone, and 13 more will move into the yellow zone on Friday. That's over half the counties in the Commonwealth.
Reopening decisions are based on the advice of scientists, medical professionals, and the state's epidemiologists. The factors that inform decisions include case counts, modeling, geographic location, contact tracing, and testing capabilities for each individual county, region, and the state.
I intend to keep fighting, and I believe the overwhelming majority of my fellow Pennsylvanians intend to keep fighting too. And with that unity, I know we can win.
Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thanks, Phil. Lawmakers and officials in Schuylkill County believe they're ready to move on to the yellow reopening phase. A letter was sent to the governor's office notifying him of the plans. Elected officials from the county intend to move from the red phase to the yellow phase effective Friday, May 15th. The letter goes on to say the counties met the requirement of the original stay-at-home order, which was to flatten the curve of the virus and allow hospitals the time to gear up for COVID-19 patients. Schuylkill residents want to be able to safely reopen their businesses and return to work. Lebanon and Dauphin counties have also notified the governor of their intent to move onto the yellow phase. Another county in our area is calling on the governor to move from red to yellow as well. State Representative Doyle Heffley voiced his concerns after finding out Carbon County was not among the next group of counties moving into the yellow phase. Heffley released a statement saying the governor needs to take a hard look at the county's metrics. Hospitalization rates are down, and there's plenty of capacity in the local healthcare networks. The business community and residents feel Carbon County's ready to take the next step and safely reopen parts of its economy. The Secretary of the PA Department of Corrections signed a notice of execution for convicted murderer Eric Frayne. Frayne was convicted and sentenced to death from the 2014 murder of Corporal Brian Dixon at the Blooming Grove State Police Barracks. DOC Secretary John Westerly signed a notice of execution for Frayne for June 2, 2020. The governor issues temporary reprieves if a warrant were to reach his desk without any further appeals. MART's bus service has resumed for essential workers going to and from New York City. The bus service was voluntarily stopped back in March because of coronavirus concerns. Buses are now running on a limited schedule. Safety precautions have also been put in place. Only 14 riders are allowed on each bus at a time and must wear masks. Drivers will have their temperatures taken before each shift, and buses are being continuously disinfected. For now, the service to New York is only from the Poconos. The Pennsylvania primaries are right around the corner, and Luzerne County's gearing up by getting the info out to voters. Reforms will take effect, including a new mail-in ballot option, and the deadline's been extended to register to vote. County polling sites have also been consolidated into 58 larger buildings to allow for social distancing. Voters who wish to vote in person will fill out paper ballots rather than using touchscreens. The PA primary is on Tuesday, June 2nd, which is also the deadline to mail-in ballots to be received. The Luzerne County Bureau of Elections posted information on this year's primary on the county's website. They can also be reached by calling 570-825-1715. Firefighters responded to a house fire Saturday afternoon in Schuylkill County. Crews were called to a residence at 1 James Street in Clares shortly after 5 p.m. Smoke was showing from the outside of the single-family home, and the blaze was quickly extinguished by fire crews. Thankfully, no injuries were reported in that Saturday afternoon fire in Schuylkill County. Staying in Schuylkill County, a trio's behind bars after being caught in the act. Officers with the Mahanoy City Police Department were dispatched to a home in the borough for reports of a burglary in process Sunday night. There, they found 47-year-old George Hartranft, 39-year-old Danielle Capes, and 39-year-old Chad Benjamin inside the home. All three were arrested and taken to Schuylkill County Prison for lack of $25,000 straight cash bail each. The Department of Community and Economic Development recently released a report of approved business exemptions provided to those offering life-sustaining services. The exemption process offered those approved businesses the opportunity to provide services for the public's health and safety. DCED reviewed more than 42,000 exemption requests. Only 6,060 were approved, over 12,000 were denied, and over 11,000 were notified their request didn't require an exemption. For the last 6 weeks, the department focused on reviewing exemption applications and assisting businesses with questions to protect public health during the COVID-19 health emergency. And Penn State Hazleton adapted to the COVID-19 situation by hosting a virtual commencement for its 2020 graduates. 127 Penn Staters received degrees through the virtual commencement ceremony Saturday. Chancellor Gary Lawler spoke to graduates and their families, commending them for their courage in overcoming the unexpected shift to remote learning. All the grads were honored with a digital slideshow, which displayed their names and degree program. 77 grads received bachelor's degrees and 50 received associates. Penn State officials plan to have the grads come back for an in-person celebration at a future date. Coming up on Wyln News, House leaders oppose restrictions, plus dental health guidelines were revised and released. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Vanaho. I'm 12 years old, and this is your Wyln forecast for the week.
Hey everyone, Anthony here from Physical Therapy and Balance Centers in Hazleton. And today I want to talk to you about fall prevention. Did you know 1 in every 5 falls will lead to a serious injury. And every 11 seconds, an older adult is taken to the emergency room because of a fall. To help prevent falls at home, it's important to note that you should remove anything with a non-stick surface like a throw rug. Install something like grab bars if you need them. Don't use any loose furniture to get around like a chair or even the wall. And install night lights in hallways or bathrooms to illuminate dark areas. Here at Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, we do specialize in balance therapy, and we are offering free 20-minute consults. So please give us a call.
Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source. Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner for the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
House Republican leaders have critique in response to Governor Tom Wolf's reopening announcement today. As the stay-at-home order continues to keep certain counties closed and move toward the reopening of others, many House Republicans are concerned of the economic impact on Pennsylvanians. Other critique included the frustration of using the color-coded system, ignored calls, and concerns with the speed of county reopening transitions. One representative stated they'll continue to push for expanded and effective testing while allowing Pennsylvanians to get back to work. Revised dental health care guidance was released as part of the governor's strategic phased COVID-19 reopening plan. Business closure orders issued March 19th were revised yesterday to remove the prohibition on non-urgent and non-emergent dental procedures. Dental providers must follow protocols outlined by the CDC and OSHA for all procedures. All patients should be screened for COVID-19 symptoms before arriving at the practice, while meeting social distancing and CDC health guidelines when not undergoing treatment. The Giant companies already helped more than 100 recipients of its emergency grant program. Last month, Giant originally designated $250,000 for the program, but due to the overwhelming response, the company decided to double the amount of funding available to $500,000. In all, the company is awarding 110 grants to help support small businesses in Pennsylvania's food supply chain impacted by the ongoing pandemic. More than 500 applications were received during the 2-week application period, with more than 60 applications in the first 24 hours. One multi-talented performer sadly passed this morning of natural causes after giving the world a great 92 years. Jerry Stiller appeared in tons of movies and TV shows, and even found the time to dabble in an autobiography. Although Stiller played a supporting role on Seinfeld, he created some of the Emmy-winning show's most enduring moments, and even earned an Emmy nomination in 1997. Stiller earned a drama degree at Syracuse University after serving in World War II. He headed to New York City to launch his career, and took off after meeting and marrying Mara in 1953. While he was known as a nutjob father on the small screen, Stiller and Mara raised their 2 children in Manhattan. Their daughter Amy became an actress, while their son Ben became a writer, director, and actor. And it was also a tough weekend for the music industry with the death of this icon. The screaming, preening, scene-stealing, wild man of early rock and roll, Little Richard, first came on the scene in the 1950s with hits like Tutti Frutti, Long Tall Sally, and Slippin' and Slidin'. Nicknamed the innovator, the originator, and the architect of rock and roll, Little Richard became one of the first Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. The Georgia native also got a street named after him in his hometown and received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 1993 Grammys. Aside from his barrier-breaking music, he's also noted for his attitude toward his sexuality, officially coming out around 1995. Little Richard lost his battle to bone cancer at 87 years old. Coming up on Ridgewood's News Choice, we talk with Mary Malone on small business relief efforts in Community and You, plus heartbreaking cancellations for sports and music fans across the board. So stay with us.
Hi. I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-thru lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown the Hometown Village Square.
CARES is a local and family-owned agency dedicated to providing exceptional services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout Pennsylvania. CARES specializes in day and residential services, respite, home and community, behavior supports, and chaperone vacations. At CARES, the participants are the VIPs. Now contracting life-sharing and respite providers, CARES, empowering individuals to maximize their opportunities and potential in their community.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
For service to our community and for keeping us safe.
Welcome to Community and You here on Wyln. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today with us via iPad, practicing that new way of the world, we have Mary Malone, not only the president of the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, but also part of the big Greater Hazleton COVID-19 Recovery and Resiliency Task Force. What a mouthful. How are you doing today, Mary?
I'm good, and I agree about the mouthful.
Well, at least you guys are keeping an R&R for short. Now,
yes.
We're here today to talk a little bit about the Small Business Emergency Relief Micro Grant Program, yet another mouthful, but it seems that the basis and the idea of it is pretty simple. So what's it all about?
We are finally kind of pivoting and looking to what will be the new normal and the needs of not only chamber members, but also small businesses in the Greater Hazleton area. So the first step was a small business survey that we sent out. We have lots of different folks. The task force, the R&R task force, is actually being led by Krista Schneider from the Downtown Alliance for Progress, and asked all small businesses to give us their perspective and their viewpoint on what the pandemic and COVID-19 had meant to their small business and operations. So one of the immediate pieces that came out of that survey, which we did know, we have so many long-standing family businesses in the Greater Hazleton area. And even those businesses open for 10 years or better, were struggling with the financial impact. So through the Main Street program, Krista and some others on the task force had done some investigation. And I think in this day and age, a lot of folks are familiar with the concept of a GoFundMe or crowdfunding. And we became aware of a specific platform that is meant for community projects, and that's the Patronize City. And so what we did was establish a small business relief micro grant. And the intention was whether any small businesses in the Greater Hazleton area with a storefront, that maybe it's rent, maybe it's utilities, maybe it's for payroll purposes, or maybe they are going to need to buy masks, whether it's for their employees or for their customers. Maybe they are thinking about and considering the chance to put up an e-commerce or consider e-commerce or a website, or build a different piece to the current website that they have. So this week we launched the actual crowdfunding page, and with a goal of raising $75,000 for businesses in the greater Hazleton area, small businesses, which for our purposes we've defined as 20 employees or under. And there'll be an application, and the micro grant will be between $500 and $1,500. And those businesses will be able to go online and apply for it. That will actually open up next week for those businesses.
Now we hear all about what you guys are doing, and you guys are doing a lot for the small businesses during these tough times. How can we help? How can the people help out there?
So the great thing is we've had some exceptional larger companies, leaders step up, including Can Do, Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cargill, the Standard Speaker, and even the local Hazleton Rotary Club to kind of start off and be lead gifts there. But individuals can also, so $10 or $20, again, to get to that $75,000 goal. So we always hear the mantra about shop local, support local. Well, here's your chance. Make the donation now, and then those businesses, a lot of them will need some inventories to start back up again and reopen their doors. So these dollars will be used towards those kind of pieces. So we're asking anyone in the greater Hazleton area, individuals, a family, a civic organization, to consider going to the website for Patronize City and making a small donation towards that. If you don't want to do an online donation, we also have pledge forms that are available, and you can actually mail a check, and you can check the Chamber's website or Can Do. And we'll also be blasting out across all of our social media platforms too. But here's the chance for our community to support small businesses. I know when my girls were growing up and they played on some local sports teams or had fundraising for events, it's always those small businesses, those longtime family traditions that we go to for a gift card and they're always there for us. Now's our chance to be there for them.
Yes, it is. This is definitely the time. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today, Mary.
I appreciate the opportunity. I hope everyone stays safe. The whole thought of crowdfunding is that together we can raise that $75,000 goal or exceed it and help small businesses right here in the greater Hazleton area community.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Remember, keep your small businesses in mind. They're struggling too, and you can help. We'll see you next time here on Wyln.
There are 125 used car dealers in town, but there's only one Chura's. Quality vehicles since 1954. Voted the best used car dealer. Check out their inventory, see something you like, take a test ride. Chura's Auto Sales. Call 570-454-7229.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
Have your event with Whitetail, graduation, birthday, bachelor, reunion parties? They have the most tranquil backyard experience with beautiful mountains in the background. If your company or business wants a different alternative to a golf outing, they have outings that can accommodate you. You can have the entire facility to yourself. They will work with you to set up your day of events. Sporting clay competitions, trap and wobble trap games, skeet. After a day of shooting, you'll return to a meal designed for you. Call Mike at 570-535-6123 for available group options.
Wyln presents Community Update on the Coronavirus, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. with rebroadcast at 7 p.m. and 10 a.m. the following morning. Brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network, PBS 39, Adams Outdoor, and WYLN TV 35. We're your local network.
The American Hockey League voted to cancel the remainder of the 2019-2020 regular season and 2020 Calder Cup playoffs due to the coronavirus pandemic. It's a sad day for local professional sports fans. The AHL's current standings, which are sorted by points percentage, will serve as the basis for determining league awards for the 2019-20 season. Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins ticket holders have several options when it comes to previously purchased tickets for canceled home games. Fans are encouraged to review their options by calling 570-208-7367. Schuylkill Gives is set for Thursday, May 14th. This is Schuylkill County's first ever day of giving, and the revitalization group Downtown Shenandoah Incorporated is asking for the public's help in furthering their goal for CEBA, the Center for Education, Business, and Arts. Is an innovation center they're proposing for the 100 block of North Main Street. The Day of Giving's presented as an opportunity to unite the community to help better serve Schuylkill County. For one day only, May 14th, consider donating online at schuylkillgives.com/organizations/CEBA to support the initiative. Details can be found by calling DSI at 570-462-2060 or by emailing dsi@downtownshenandoahinc.com. This year's Peach Music Festival, which was set to be held July 2nd through 5th at Montage Mountain, was pandemic postponed until 2021. Headliners from this year's postponed show are set to appear next year when the event's held July 4th. They include Oysterhead, String Cheese Incident, and Joe Russo's Almost Dead. Patrons with tickets for this year's event can either get a refund or roll them over for next year, and will be treated to an additional night of music that Wednesday. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. You can get news updates on our Wyln News Facebook page or WYLNTV.com by clicking the LVHN banner for the real facts about COVID-19. You can also see who's open for business by clicking the tab on our website. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on Wyln TV.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986.